Hola, bon dia, welcome to this week's video from Portugaldreamzzz. This week, as you know, the builders have more or less finished and we're just going to start clearing all the yard up. And there's a few other jobs we've been up to, so we'll show you that as we go along.
Morning. So this morning it's throwing it down again, raining quite hard still, so I'm going to try and do a little bit of tidying up in the barn and get ready for moving the wood into the barn. We're going to use the barn for it because it's now dry. We can stand the wood out the way for quite a while until we need to use it, and hopefully we can lay it somewhere flat. So I'll show you where I'm going to put it when I get it sorted. So I'm going to try and level an area in the barn to bring all the wood round. I've started bringing some wood round, but it's the more the scrap wood, which was in the rain. So I've just put it under the shelter to dry. I haven't actually brought it into the barn. But the new wood what we got for the old builder we're going to store inside. So as you can probably see, it's a bit dark in here. I've had to get my torch just so we can see what we're doing, but what I'm going to do is move some of these bigger stones onto the floor, off the floor into the stone pile what we have there, and then what I'm hoping to do is level from this corner using the old briar, what's made out of stone, level that up and just widen it with some blocks and hopefully just lay the wood on there for now. It's nice and dry in here, so as long as we can get the wood in here it should be okay. So this is some of the wood I've brought from the side garden area, driveway, what was getting wet. I brought this round yesterday, and some good planks what were down there as well. As you can see they're quite long, so I'm hoping they'll fit in the barn. And I want to put them along that back wall. So I need to move some of this stone so we can get access in and out okay without falling over. There's some metal on the floor, an acro I think that is, and these blocks, and I'm going to use them to level it. As I say, I'm going to move some of these bigger blocks on the floor, just put them in the pile and then use them to square it out a bit more. So we've got a flat area. I want it fairly flat because there's also some plasterboard, so if I can lay the wood out on a flat area I can probably put the plasterboard on top of the wood. Yeah, we'll see how we go with that. I'm just going to move some of this stone across onto the bigger pile. Some of it's quite big and heavy. Just right across. Got some wood up here as well. And then what I want to do is build this up a bit leveler with some blocks. Some of these type blocks. So we'll just put them in across and then lay the wood in. Might need some of these just to level it out a bit actually. Doesn't have to be perfectly level, but you can keep it sort of nicely piled up against the wall, squared up. We'll just make it easier to stack. In fact, if I go to there, that one's already level. So then we'll go at the far end the same and build something up in the corner, which I'll show you later. I was just looking, I don't think the really long beams will actually fit lengthwise in here. I'll have to have a measure before I go too far. But if not, I'll bring an angle out and then they can sit there. So I'm just going to build up in this corner to the same height as that. As I say, might not be perfectly level, but we can alter that with a few little thinner bits of wood if I want to. There's plenty of wood kicking about. Little blocks and bits that they've cut off, you know. A lot of it will come in handy, some of it will burn. So I just want to build a flat bit up there. I'll do that with blocks. And yeah, then we should be ready for when we want to bring some wood in. What I will do though is extend this out with some more blocks if I've got enough. I'll have to go and find them when it's a bit drier, I think, because if we put plasterboard on it, that wants supporting quite wide. A lot of this I'll just have to drag out at a later date. We'll drag it level. Then when we drag it level, yeah, we'll probably concrete this floor. So we'll get our measuring device out and do the area on that. In fact, I might have the measuring thing out just to measure the wall against the planks and see see if I can fit them in, but just visually I don't think they'll fit. There is some shorter ones, so they might. If they don't fit, what we'll probably do is tuck them right up to the wall behind the bales of hay and Ellie roses, so they're up against the outside wall of the barn, still under shelter, should be out of the way because it's just a step there over, till we think what we're going to do with them. So anyway, we'll get on and build a bit up in this corner. As you can probably see, the ground's uneven, but we'll square it up with stone and what have you until we get it sort of level, and then we'll build the block up, which is what I'm in the middle of doing. I think another block and that'll be about level. I'll probably need to build an end out. take 3 or 4 blocks. And build that up a little bit more. That's obviously going to take another block and then probably some wood. So that's roughly the idea. I've just levelled a patch all the way across the back, and yeah, hopefully that'll just let us store the planks on there. So the long pieces of wood probably won't fit in the van, so what I'll probably do is cut them down to a length what will fit in, but in metre lengths. So like if the band's 6 metres, I'll cut 6 metres, a 6 metre length, and have a 2 metre piece left, which will certainly be good enough for doing other jobs. I can't say that I'm going to be doing anything that's over 6 metres, so it'll all come in for doing that, as long as I don't cut it too short or something like that. But we've plenty of it, so I think that's the way to go. It'll give us decent lengths, so I can do a workbench or whatever I want to do with it. So this morning we're going to move this plasterboard what we've had sheeted up. We've got to move it from here round into the bands round the other side of the building. So yeah, it's a bit of an assault course. We've got humps and bumps and steps and all sorts, narrow doorways, so it's a bit of a challenge, but we'll get it done.
Are we doing that so that the builders can come back and scrape some of this soil here back into the foundations there, and then hopefully they will level off this area with the rest.
So I've got Ellie Rose helping me move this board, as you can see. Oh, and she's good at it.
Better than you, apparently.
Certainly better than me.
Don't fall.
Alfie's decided he needs to supervise.
Watch the height. Watch the height. It's exactly the same.
So we're just taking it through into the big van here. There
It's
we
exactly
go.
the same.
And just stacking it on some breeze blocks.
Breeze blocks and pallets, keep it flat.
Yep.
Yeah. So we've got about another 5 of them to do. So. Morning, so what I'm going to try and do today is move all these tiles what are behind me. The square ones are going around the other side of the building, and the rounder ones are going down near the drive. So when the builders come back, we hope they're going to move some of this mud pile. I'm going to take the earth off the top and move it down to the land and spread it about a little bit. And the round tiles I'm going to put further down the drive. We were going to put them here, which is at the top of the drive. We're going to put them further down there so that the digger can actually get round this corner. So we're going to put them roughly where the guttering is. So as you can probably see, I've got a lot of tiles to move, so I'll just crack on with it. Trouble is, when the builders have moved them, they haven't been too careful, and these are quite brittle, which is making them hard to move, although I do want to break them up later. So when we get to the square ones, it should be a lot easier because most of them are intact, but these just drop to pieces, even just standing on them to pick others up. Just trying to find a bottom tile what's not broken so I can pick up any broken ones with it. So I'm slowly making headway. I really want the ones from round the back of the building where the track is, so I can take these square tiles round that way. Then if anybody does want them, they're easier for them to pick up, and also if nobody wants them, they can stay there for a while, because we won't be doing anything in them areas for a while. So as I've cleared a gap round the front of the building, I'm now taking a pile of flat ones round and bringing a pile of round ones back and stacking it down the lad. I'll show you where I'm doing that. So this was the original place I was stacking them. I prefer them stacked like this actually, but a lot of these the ones I'm bringing round are broken. So I'll show you what I'm doing there. As you can see, these are the rounded ones from round the front and a few from this side near the bathroom. The good ones I'm sort of stacking on the decent pile, and then I've got a bit for broken up ones, which I've got quite a lot of, and then the smaller broken pieces I'm just throwing down there for now because they are going to fill this track up past the sand, and depending on how many we've got, probably all the way up to the caravan, but we'll have to see how many we've got. I think we've got plenty, but when you start breaking them up they don't go as far as you think.
So as you know, we've got quite a lot to clear up after the builders. There's quite a lot of tiles stacked here. As you know, Steve and Ellie Rose are just starting to move those to a different location because the builders are coming back shortly and they're going to level this top yard area, and they're going to put some Brita down, which will kind of bed in and give us a clean surface to walk on until we've done other renovations and finished the renovations, sorry, and we know exactly what we want to do with this bit. It's going to be levelled somewhere up to the edge of the last raised bed. That's Steve just passing us. He's just going back for another barrel load. The rounded tiles we're moving further down the land out of the way because the builders are going to try and drag some of this, which there's quite a lot of soil on the top, and they're going to try and move that down here, spread it out onto the top terrace of the land, and the grass should grow back through that. Yeah, so Steve's piling the tiles here. These are the really old ones from the barns, and they'll be crushed up onto the driveway where the car is there and where that big pile of rubble is up there, to make a nice stand-in for the car, and probably later on a shelter where the caravan is to put the car and a tractor under. So I was just going to walk you around. I know Steve's already walked you around and given you his views and opinions on the build. I just thought I'd tell you some of my ideas. So the walls have been rendered in like a cream colour. I quite like it. It kind of looks old and rustic, and that's why I like it. As it's got wet, it's got more patchy, so I'm not sure whether I quite like that or not, but the idea was that we wouldn't paint it, we would aqua seal it, water seal it, and just keep that lovely old look. Steve is also going to build, it won't be this year, or we're going to buy, we're not sure, in this corner here around the door, a seating area like a corner sofa, excuse the dog, and then this side will be the kitchen and hot tub here, because from the seating area that gives you the best view of the mountains and the land, especially when the old bathroom comes out and that's been relocated inside the house. And then obviously there's Ellie Rosie's patio to build. We're going to rescue some of the old pots and put them on the patio with plants in. And this area here, as I mentioned earlier, is going to be gravelled. So we might actually put the hot tub there and lower the wall. Some people have asked why don't we keep these tiles and not sell them and use them on the shed roofs, but to be quite honest, it would be so time consuming and so difficult for Steve and I, and you know, it's a matter of cost getting builders back to do it. We think it would be easier for us if we just used panelling with insulation in, maybe. That would be a lot quicker to go on and a lot easier for us. But you know, that's a long way off. These roofs, I mean, they don't look the best, but they actually don't leak. So it's not a priority when we don't have an indoor bathroom and we don't have a proper functioning kitchen. The chicken shed there and the goat house next door, they'll be coming down actually because they're not in a very good state. And the barn there will be renovated for the goats, and then all this top area will be fenced off for them, and yeah, and the chickens and the goats can perhaps run together there. So I'm going to just pop down the land now and just give you a look back at the house. So if we look from about here, you get an idea. That's going to be quite nice when it's all finished.
So the square tiles what I'm bringing around from the front of the house, I'm stacking here. The builders have already put a pile of them there, what they got from the back. And then the round tiles, which aren't stacked very well and falling to bits, I'm taking back round to the pile I've shown you just down the land. Yeah, so we'll get on with that. There's an awful lot of them to move, and because they haven't stacked them very well, they're breaking up, so yeah.
It's making it hard work, isn't it?
It is, yeah. That's barrow full.
Yeah.
And off we go.
Don't know if you can see in there, we've still got quite a few cucumbers. I think we're all cucumbered out now. We've still got some little ones coming here, look. Oops, that's just come off in my hand. So yeah, so I think we're done with the cucumbers, so I'm now cutting them up daily for the chickens. They're enjoying them. So we're still getting quite a lot of flowers on the melons. And we've still got some melons to pick. Personally, I think we're about done with the melons. I don't think we're going to get any more now. We've still got quite a lot of tomatoes to pick. As you know, we have neglected them somewhat due to having the builders here, but yeah, we're still getting lots of tomatoes. I'm still happy with what we've got. We'll do better next year. We're still getting flowers, little strawberries coming. On here, the peppers are going black, and I don't understand why that is. Don't know whether you can still eat them when they go like that. I did manage to pick a couple off before they actually discoloured. Oh look, we've got a cucumber that's crept into this bed from that bed. Don't know if you can see that huge onion that's popped out of the soil. I think I'm going to harvest that for tonight's tea. Be nice with our steaks. Don't think the others are quite ready yet. Alf is in a I want my mummy phase today. Yep, so still getting strawberries here and lots of flowers.
So as you can probably see, I'm still moving the tiles and things this morning. While we're on, I'm clearing some of this out here so I can move around really. I know some of them tiles are probably stacked too high, but I've got an awful lot more to bring round and I need the space. In yeah, I started putting some of them on pallets so I can square them off a little bit and do more than one row. And I'll probably have to do the same further down there when I get some of that cleared. So what I'm doing is coming up with a barrow of decent ones and taking the rubbish ones back down. I'll show you how many I've moved when I go around the other side. So just to give you an idea what I've moved, most of the orange there's what I've brought right back round, which are broken bits. And I'll just show you where the pile of decent ones was. So as you've probably seen earlier in the video, this area was absolutely full. I've still got loads to move. There must be another 300-400 there, I think. Plus the round ones, which I've still got to move, but they're going in a different place. One reason we're moving these is all this is going to be backfilled and levelled out from Ellie Rosie's. I don't know whether that'll just give you an idea of the slope on it, but yeah, it's quite a slope down from Ellie Rosie's, and then it's a good drop into there, so we'll get rid of a lot of sort of broken tiles and things like that. Some of the tiles what I've been putting up there, I would have liked to have brought them down here to break up, but while I'm still moving these, it's just impossible to work around them. So yeah, it means moving them twice in some cases, but yeah, we'll see how we do. And that's the way I stack them to take them around in the barrow. There's about 15, 18 tiles in each barrow load, so you can see how many trips I've got to make. So it looks like we're in for a storm. Just a big flash of lightning then. I don't know whether the camera caught it. Yeah, looks like it's going to be quite a good one. I've got the goats in just in case. Mabel don't like rain at all, even a few spots, and she's shouting. And he doesn't seem too bothered. But this is all the way around us at the moment. I'm still trying to get a few of these tiles moved. As soon as it hits, I'm inside. So it did just catch me. I was just doing the last two tiles around the back. Not the last of all of them, still got plenty to do. But the last of the batch what I'd taken around, and I thought it's going to start any second. As I say, I was down to the last two and it just absolutely bucketed down. So I had to run round the back. Did get a bit wet. But it seemed to have slowed almost as soon as I got here. It's not stopped by any means. Yeah. Sort of greyer over there now, and I was the other side of the building, and it's, as you can see, it's quite black over there. But some of the roof hasn't even got wet really. Other parts of it, it's running off. So yeah. Anyway, didn't get too wet, so I'm off in now until it stops, if it's going to. Yeah, if not, I'll have to see if I can get on with last few of them tomorrow. When I say last few, there's 150, so we'll get there. So as you can probably see, I've got most of these tiles moved. The ones that are here still, some have got cement on. Yeah, I might try chipping some of that off, see how it does. But the main things I've got to move the rest of the round ones. So we'll see if we can get that done in between dodging all the rainstorms that we've been having. So a lot of this will break up and go back into this area to build it up and help level it out. So that's what we're going to do the rest of the morning.
So tonight we're finally moving into the house. As many of you know, we've been sleeping in the caravan now for almost a year. There's still a lot of renovations to be done inside the house, but we're now ready. We've got the bedroom ready, so I'll just turn you around and show you that. Not sure what we're going to do about the wardrobe yet, but at the moment we just have a temporary clothes rail. Let's hope that we get a good night's sleep. So that's it for this week's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe and notification bell if you've not already done so. And I'd like to say a big thank you to anyone who supported us on Ko-fi. Also, people have been messaging us and emailing asking if we have an Amazon wish list. We've now set that up, so if you do want to take a look at that, that'd be great. So thanks for watching this week's video, and bye for now.